The story picks up with Andrew and Ashley eating lunch at a local restaurant. So far, they've avoided consequences. Welcome back. I'm Nox, and this is the Coffin of Andy and Leyley, Episode 2, Graves. Andrew browses the paper looking for any mentions of the atrocities they committed in the apartment building. Finding nothing in the paper and finishing lunch, they return to their motel room. Ashley proceeds to do laundry. What kind of motel room has laundry built in? Ashley does her usual picking on Andrew while they watch TV, referring to him as Andy. Andrew's frustration peaks again. Andy was supposed to die in the apartment, not follow them along to be a constant thread for Ashley to pull. Their mild bickering continues until something on the news catches their attention. The news anchor claims that a fire has burned down their apartment building, along with everything and everyone in it. Ashley ensures that this is good news, as all the evidence has burned away.
They must think we died too, and all the evidence of our escapades, let's say, has been incinerated,
Ashley tells Andrew. Andrew is still a bit skeptical and reminds Ashley that they still have no home or money. Ashley goes to bed while Andrew watches TV until they both eventually succumb to sleep. That night, Ashley dreamed. The dream has an odd feeling. Ashley feels like she can see the dream from multiple point of views outside of her own body. Familiar shaped eyes float in her peripheral vision. Someone silently walks into their motel room. He wears dark sunglasses and a hood. He walks past Andrew and, almost without stopping, cuts his throat. The man continues over to Ashley, cutting hers as well. The moment her dream version perishes, she snaps awake. Ashley catches her breath, her throat on fire. She rushes over to Andrew.
Wake up! We gotta go! Get up! I had a vision! We're about to get killed! We've gotta go now!
Andrew sluggishly stirs awake. Ashley tells him about her clairvoyant dream. Without grabbing anything not already on their person, they exit the room and go to hide in town nearby. They discuss their options. They wait, and wait, and wait, until someone walks past them in a cloak. Ashley recognizes that it's not the same person from the dream. With curiosity getting the better of them, Ashley stays to watch for the murderer, and Andrew goes to follow the cultist-looking fellow. Andrew manages to sneak in on a catering cart, and yes, these cultists actually have catering for their rituals. An older man at the stage leads the ritual, his cloak featuring eyed design, obviously a leader. Andrew grows bored as the cultists try for a very long time to summon a Lord Unknown, but nothing ever shows up. Having learned absolutely nothing and wasted a bunch of time, Andrew leaves and returns to Ashley. Just as Ashley starts to doubt the validity of her gifted talisman and the supposed clairvoyant dream, a car pulls up to the motel. They watch as a man who gets out wearing a familiar hood and glasses. He gets out of the car and in record time goes to the room, picks the lock, and heads inside. The pair discuss just leaving while the murderer is inside to avoid giving away where they go. They decide, however, that this isn't a random murder. He's likely after them specifically. The siblings decide to deal with him tonight rather than being tracked down by him later, considering he did manage to find them tonight. Under the guise of grabbing something they forgot and being loud about taking a stroll in the park, they grab their things and head straight there. They go deeper into the park and wait to see if he follows. Ashley thinks she hears footsteps. She passes Andrew the gun and formulates a plan. They'll play, quote, hide and seek to give Andrew a reason to search around the park, secretly looking for the killer. Against his judgment, Andrew searches the park for Ashley, until suddenly he looks behind a bush, revealing the killer. Before the man can react with his knife and close the distance, Andrew shoots him once, and he collapses down into the grass. They take his car keys and go to look in his car. Inside, they find papers disguising a hit under the pretense of a clothes washing company. Not only a murderer, but a hired hitman. He has lots of papers related to chemical leaks, the apartment building, and other things tying him to the water company. The pair settle in the seats of the car. Going over their options, they consider driving the stolen car to their parents' house with the intent of robbing them of their money and possession. Ashley jokingly mentions that they could steal everything and then kill them. It is a joke. Right. Ashley continues to push Andrew's buttons, even calling him Andy again to antagonize him. They argue like usual and then drive an awkward silence. At some point, Ashley dozes off and finds herself in a strange dream. The landscape is full of small rocked islands and red trees and flowers over a dark void. Ashley walks around as she hears a familiar, deep voice calling for her. Ashley continues on until she finds the very same entity she summoned before. It mentions that he summoned her in her sleep and reminds her that the talisman has used up its energy and she will need to recharge it. It goes on and invites her to a deal, a trade, to recharge her clairvoyant item. The entity agrees to recharge it in exchange for a human soul offering. Ashley agrees and mentions that she has a couple in mind to offer up. The entity departs, referring her again as a tar soul. Ashley wakes up to Andrew in a panic. He had been trying to wake her up ever since arriving to the small port town their parents live in. He takes a deep breath. Everything is okay now. Andrew mentions that it's around 10 in the morning and the parents will be at work. They head off to find their parents home. Considering how poor the family was growing up, the siblings are shocked at the neighborhood the house is in. They walk around back to find a way in. They manage to get inside through a window and begin looking around. While going through the parents' belongings, they find documents where they received financial compensation for an error and also find death certificates from 3 months ago for both of the siblings at the start of the quarantine. As Ashley thinks back to her mother telling her to stop calling, she begins to piece it together with the death certificates. Ashley looks through more papers. They pause as someone walks into the front door. Realizing it's the mom, Andrew tries to play it off coolly and goes to greet her. The mom is obviously rather shocked. Andrew insists on playing like visiting children, Ashley begrudgingly playing along. After making coffee, Mom inquires about the fire. Andrew tells her they were evacuated and cleared of parasites. The mother also dodges questions about the huge upgrade in living space compared to the apartment. Even though Mom appears uncomfortable with it, Andrew convinces her to allow them to stay and cook dinner. While preparing the dinner, Ashley decides to push the news onto Andrew that not only do they have to kill their parents, she can use their souls in trade to recharge the talisman. Andrew says he will think about it. With the enthusiasm of a dead fish, Dad arrives home. He says almost nothing during dinner and goes to bed immediately after. Continuing on afterwards, Andrew displays a bit of reluctance. "We can't do it," he says. "Neither the robbing or killing." Andrew insists it's not doable due to the possibility of being reported to the police by someone and not for his lack of resolve. Through a mild argument of Andrew being too soft toward the parents, he assures Ashley he chose her, but sternly reminds her that they buried Andy and Leyley. Ashley, of course, claims he is misremembering. While whispering to each other a little too close for anyone else's comfort, Mom interrupts them. Mom allows them to stay for one night, but enforces they need to leave in the morning to find somewhere else. She insists they sleep in different areas. Sounds like Mom is aware of their behavior. That night, Andrew, while asleep on the couch, has a typical nightmare. He encounters Leyley and sighs that she even exists in his dreams. He comes across Julia and is reminded of an interaction with her. The two had been dating for a while. Julia expresses to Andrew that if Ashley could be more independent, it would be good for her and their relationship. Julia finds a relationship with Andrew difficult because of how often he drops plans or leaves because Ashley needs him. Andrew hints that her codependence could have something to do with what happened to Julia's friend way back when. It affected him and likely her too. Julia discredits that idea altogether. Andrew also, at some point in this memory, asks her to start wearing her hair up. I'm sure that doesn't remind him of anyone in particular. Andrew's dream continues, unable to compartmentalize like Ashley. All of his trauma floats around him constantly. Andrew's mind continues to another memory. The young siblings, as Andy and Leyley, going to let Nina out of the box the next day, the name clear in Andrew's memory, unlike Ashley's. Andy opens the crate, only to find Nina dead inside. He hyperventilates. He panics. Leyley is nonchalant about the entire thing. She encourages Andy to just hide the body with her, and it will be fine. They manage to bury her in the woods near the old warehouse. Andy makes Leyley promise him that she will never mention this to anyone. Leyley says she won't even say her name ever again, let alone even remember it. Leyley then pulls Andy close and tells him if he doesn't do what she says from now on, she'll tell everyone that Andy killed Nina. Andy assures her they will be friends, as she demands. In the days following, Andy suffers from PTSD over the event and the fact that nothing he does, no matter how bad, is enough for Leyley. Before the memory ends, Andy makes a blood oath with her. She keeps the secret and he keeps her company forever. Leyley tries to make the deal that no other woman will ever take him away, but that wasn't how Andy worded it. A clever escape. The memory starts to alter as Leyley says things she didn't say back then.
Kill them to solve all your problems. Kill them to feel something. Kill them for food. Kill them to avoid the things I'll do to you if you don't.
Andrew awakens to see Ashley whispering in his ear, giggling when she's caught. When Ashley manages to convince Andrew to kill their parents, she refers to him as Andy, in which he immediately shuts her down. They laugh and cuddle on the couch as Mom comes out of her bedroom. Ashley slides down to the floor. Mom insists she wants to talk without Ashley and offer an explanation. She walks around the couch and sees Ashley on the floor. "Oh, this had not better be what it looks like," Mom says in a snarl. Ashley laughs and pulls out her gun. Deciding this is the time, Ashley escorts Mom down to the basement. Andrew ends up waking Dad up and escorts him down to the basement as well. Once both are downstairs, Ashley ties them up to a support beam. While Ashley is ready for the ritual, Andrew decides this is a good time to get some money. He demands the PIN for Mom's debit card. While Andrew goes to the ATM, Ashley sets up the ritual. Setting up, Mom reveals she knows the siblings had something to do with killing Nina, and she could have been rid of them then. Ashley is mostly unimpressed by this mom and continues on. Andrew returns, angry at the withdrawal limit, and forces Mom to have it lifted. Once done, Ashley states that she'll go this time and get the rest of the money out. She wonders if she can trust Andrew with the parents alone. The talisman trinket seems to respond to her in her pocket and encourages her that she can trust him. As predicted, Mom tries to talk Andrew down. She claims she can get him a job, he can start an innocent life, and she shouldn't have had him mostly raise his sister. Andrew sighs at the olive branch being offered. Andrew holds the knife to his mother. "I wish you wouldn't talk about her that way." Andrew demands information about the death certificates. Mom reveals it was a life insurance scam by someone involved in the quarantine. The mother claims she thought they really did die. As Mom tries to stop Andrew again, she stops for a moment and then accuses Andy of sleeping with Ashley. "Andrew, she's your sister, for God's sake," she screams at him. Before Andrew can deny it entirely, Ashley runs down and pecks a kiss on his cheek. "I want to die," Andrew screams internally. With no more delays, Ashley begins and summons the entity. Ashley immediately offers them up, their heads slumping over in response. The entity keeps his end of the bargain, recharges the talisman with 2 charges in exchange for the 2 souls, and requests that Andrew come when it summons her next. Before they can begin disposing of the bodies, they notice that the parents are still breathing. They deduce that losing your soul probably just turns you into a mindless vegetable and you don't actually die. Andrew reels in the thought that he chopped up the cultist when he was still alive back at the apartment. Andrew ponders for a moment, looking over his options, but before he can spare a thought, Ashley stabs both of them in the chest. After recovering from the recoil of her actions, they go through due process and dispose of the bodies in a rather lengthy process, but not before Ashley decides to make meat soup out of parts of them. Ashley notices through everything that Andrew is more focused and not so wishy-washy like before. Ashley manages to make him eat without a ton of effort. I guess cannibalism is a regular thing now, huh? The duo clean up and remove all evidence of them ever being there. Before they depart, they decide to sleep at the same time, holding the trinket to see if they have a shared vision and see if anything happens to them next. Ashley drifts to sleep and finds herself in a similar world as before. Ashley wanders the realm that she finds herself in, encountering metaphorical parts of her memory, and eventually finds herself in front of 2 doors. One of them is the simple and appears to be safe path, the other, quite chaotic. As Ashley enters the sane door, all she really sees is herself exploring souls and capturing them in bottles, until she eventually encounters Andrew's soul and wakes up. With the vision not producing anything with them dying, they decide to head out. They dispose of the bones, and Ashley and Andrew seem to be getting along rather okay. They resolve to find new identities somehow and move on. As Andrew lights up a cigarette, he notices a small mole on his palm that he's never noticed before. As he smokes, a small red eye blinks on his palm. Now, if we rewind a bit and we go all the way back to the moment that Andrew's mother offers an olive branch, if Andrew bites and considers it, things go quite a different way. Also, I have a video on episode 3 of the decay path coming up, so make sure you get subscribed so you don't miss out on that. Ashley eavesdrops and hears Andrew recant to his mother that he's stuck and can do nothing. He still allows his parents to be offered up as a sacrifice, but he becomes much colder and distant toward Ashley. Ashley can even feel the distance happening almost in real time. When it comes time for Ashley to do a vision to check their safety, she experiences a much different clairvoyance than before. She finds herself running from an unknown being in one of the alternate realms. As she proceeds through the area, it is revealed to be Andrew chasing her. He brandishes his weapon, a cleaver, displaying that the time for arguing and negotiations are over. As he catches up to Ashley, he grabs her. Despite her pleading and promises, he is far too gone and ends her life.
What did I do to piss him off like that? Why would Andy ever? No, he would never. Not my Andy. No, I suppose he might. Or Andrew might, anyway.
When Andrew walks in, Ashley decides not to tell him about the dream. As before, the siblings arrive at the bridge and dispose of the parents' bodies. Andrew refuses to bother with Ashley. He's tired of her manipulation and her narcissism, and refusal to stop calling him Andy. They eventually calm down enough to get in the car and head off, the tensions carrying heavily behind them.
If it weren't for me, all kinds of vile women would have gobbled you up already.